Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're digging into essay writing. We've looked at the sources, and we're aiming to really pin down what makes an essay tick.
Exactly. The mission is to give you a solid grasp of the basics, whether you've got an assignment looming or you're just curious about this type of writing.
So, fundamentally, what is an essay?
Well, think of it as a short piece of nonfiction writing. It usually focuses on one topic, and you might be discussing it, explaining something, analyzing, or arguing a point.
Okay, and it's big in academic settings, right?
Definitely. It's a way for students to show they understand a subject, support their ideas with evidence, and importantly, engage critically with the material.
Got it. So what are the key features we should look for, the must-haves?
Right. You need a clear purpose, like are you informing, arguing, analyzing? It has to focus on a specific topic and crucially have a central idea, the thesis.
And that classic structure.
Yeah, the intro, body, and conclusion. Plus, usually the language is fairly formal and objective. Not always, but generally.
And thinking about English language learners specifically, why are essays so common for them?
Well, they're fantastic practice. They help you organize ideas logically, which is a skill in itself, but especially in a new language like English.
Right, building an argument in English.
Exactly, but prepares you for university-level writing, and it seriously helps improve grammar, vocabulary, and making your writing flow, coherence.
Okay, let's break down that structure then, starting at the beginning,
Yeah,
the introduction.
the intro really sets the scene. You usually start with a hook to grab the reader's attention.
Like a question or a surprising fact.
Yeah, or a quote, even a short anecdote. Our source material gives the example. English is the most widely spoken language in the world today. Simple, but effective.
Okay, hook first, then what?
Then you give a little background, maybe one or two sentences, just to provide context. And then the big one, the thesis statement.
Where you clearly state your main point or argument.
Precisely. So pulling it together with that English example, English is the most widely spoken language globally, impacting business, education, and travel. This deep dive will explore why learning English is crucial for academic success, career opportunities, and international communication. See hook, context, thesis.
Yeah, that flows well. Okay, moving on to the middle part, the body paragraphs.
Right, the body is where you build your case. Each paragraph should tackle one main idea that supports your thesis. This starts with a topic sentence.
Which is like a mini thesis for the paragraph.
Kind of, yeah. It states the main point of that paragraph. The example given is, one reason why learning English is important is that it increases job opportunities. Clear and direct.
Then you back that up.
Exactly. You follow the topic sentence with supporting sentences. These are your details, facts, examples, explanations. The source gives this example. In today's interconnected world, many companies operate across borders and require English-speaking employees. This linguistic ability often translates to greater employability.
Makes sense. So, topic sentence, then evidence or explanation. Anything else?
You can add a concluding sentence at the end of the paragraph, sometimes called a wrap-up or transition sentence. It's not always necessary, but it can help sum up the paragraph's point or link to the next one.
Got it. So, intro sets it up, body paragraphs build the argument with evidence, and then the conclusion ties it all together.
That's the goal. You start the conclusion by restating your thesis, but, in different words.
Rephrasing the main point.
Right. Like, in conclusion, learning English is an essential skill in today's world. Then you briefly summarize the main points you made in the body paragraphs. Just a quick recap.
And finish strong.
Yeah. Offer a final thought, maybe a prediction, a recommendation, or a broader implication. The example concludes, the benefits of learning English are undeniable. Investing in English language skills is undoubtedly a strategic move for the future.
That provides a really clear structure. Now, our sources also mention different types of essays. It's not just one size fits all.
True, there are several kinds. The main ones usually covered are expository, descriptive, narrative, and argumentative.
Okay, could we quickly touch on those? Expository.
Expository essays just explain or inform. Think of explaining how photosynthesis works or the causes of a historical event. Pretty straightforward. Introduce topic, explain steps or facets, conclude.
And descriptive. Sounds like painting a picture with words.
That's exactly it. Describing your hometown, a person, an object, using vivid language and sensory details to create an image or feeling for the reader.
Narrative, that's storytelling, right?
Yep. Telling a story, usually a personal one, like about an unforgettable day or a significant experience. It has characters, setting, a plot, and often a point or reflection at the end.
And finally, argumentative. This one sounds important.
It is, especially in academic and professional contexts. Argumentative essays aim to persuade the reader to accept a particular point of view.
Like the school uniform example.
Exactly. The example thesis was, mandatory school uniforms foster a more equitable learning environment. That's a clear stance you need to defend.
So what makes a good argumentative essay?
Well, besides the clear thesis, you absolutely need strong reasons and solid evidence, facts, statistics, examples, expert opinions.
And just presenting your side isn't enough, is it?
No, a really strong one anticipates and addresses counter-arguments. You acknowledge the other side, but then you refute it, explain why your position is still stronger. That's called a rebuttal.
So the structure would be intro with thesis.
Right. Then body paragraphs, each presenting a reason with supporting evidence. Then, crucially, a paragraph acknowledging a counter-argument and providing your rebuttal.
And then the conclusion, summarizing and reinforcing your stance.
Correct. And maintaining a formal tone, using logical reasoning throughout, is key.
The sources also mention some useful phrases for these.
Yeah, things like, in my opinion, one reason is that. Critics might argue that. Or therefore, these phrases help structure the argument and guide the reader. Very useful scaffolding.
Okay, let's try and wrap this deep dive up. Key takeaways.
I'd say the main things are, essays are structured writing. They always have a purpose and a central idea or thesis. The body needs to support that thesis with evidence, and the conclusion summarizes.
And understanding the type of essay helps you know its specific goal and how it's likely structured, whether it's explaining, describing, telling a story, or persuading.
Precisely. And, it's not just about academic writing.
Right. Understanding how arguments are built in essays can make you a much better reader and thinker in general.
Definitely. You start seeing these structures everywhere. News articles, opinion pieces, even work emails sometimes.
So here's a final thought for you. How could you use some of these principles, like having a clear point, structuring your support, maybe even anticipating objections in your own communication, not just essays, but maybe emails, presentations, or even just making a case in a meeting? Something to consider.
It's about clarity and persuasion, really useful skills.
Absolutely. Well, that's all we have time for on this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.